Hi guys, it's that time again. Dazzie's Top 20 Selling Comic Books of the Week, episode 163. And tonight I will be discussing the best-selling comic books on eBay for the week ending the 10th of December 2021. Now, since CoverPrice.com came on the scene, they've become a go-to spot for watching eBay trends on comics, and they scour thousands of eBay sales to culminate data to spotlight the hottest selling books. As always, guys, let's find out if you can beat me. It isn't difficult. Starting in at number 20, and we're going with Marvel and the year 2013. And this issue is trending again. Of course, we are getting the Marvels film down the line with Captain Marvel, of course, Kamala Khan, and Monica Rambeau. And this issue that I'm going to show you now features the first appearance of Monica Rambeau as Spectrum. And that comes in Mighty Avengers Issue number 13. Yeah, that's our number 20 book this time round. Now, this is the first appearance of this Mighty Avengers team. Luke Cage, Spider-Man, who is Otto Octavius, Spectrum, of course, and Spider-Hero, who is Blade. It's the first appearance of Blade as the Spider-Hero. Now, like I say, Monica Rambeau becomes Spectrum in this issue, and that's why it's selling. And she was formerly Photon, Pulsar, and the second Miss Marvel. Now, this is the cover A, and this comes from Greg Land. This issue, this time round, sold 17 copies, giving it a 7-day trend of plus 87%, with a high sale CGC 9.8 going for a respectable $160. I had the incentive in my hand at one point in a shopping cart if I don't go to any more, but well, I thought I had a deal, and they outpriced me and wasn't going to pay the money. Number 19 on our list, and I love this character and I love this book. I've read it recently. Great read in this Silver Age, and you know that's my favourite colour when it comes to comics. This comes from 1965. And of course, if you've watched the Hawkeye show, you'll know that Jack Dukens is one of the characters, and he is better known as the Swordsman. Yeah, he's Kate Bishop's mum's fiance, and he's a little bit on the naughty side, isn't he? The book, you probably know it already, guys, is Avengers Issue 19. Look at that fantastic cover, guys. Yeah, the first appearance of the Swordsman. And it's also the origin of Hawkeye retold, and that is Clinton Francis Barton. Now, in the comic, we had Hawkeye actually trained by the Swordsman, but that is not, of course, the case in the show. And I've just got to say, guys, what a fantastic show Hawkeye is for me. Definitely my number one MCU show on Disney Plus. And that last episode, wow, what a finale. Absolutely stellar stuff. This book sold 12 copies with a 7-day trend of plus 160%, with a high sale CGC 8.0, going for a whopping $825. I paid 10 quid for my copy, and that was in the middle of 2018 at the local antique centre. Great price, mid-grade, probably about a 5.0. Oh, while I'm at it, I paid £2.99 for that Mighty Avengers Issue 1, which was number 20 on our list. Okay, number 18 on our list, and there's an entry from DC Comics, and this issue features the first appearance of Dr. Multiverse. You know me, I don't pick up new books. This is a new one to me. And in this issue, he is featured on this 1 in 25 incentive variant. There's high interest in this first appearance. Number 18 on our list, I'll be surprised if many of you had this one, is Justice League Incarnate. Issue 1, the Bresnan and Peterson 1 in 25 variant, guys. And it's a sweet looking cover, I'll give it that. Let me get it up for you. And I've said it before, my LCSs do not get an opportunity at these incentives around about 1 in 25 because they're just too small. But here's your book, guys. Number 18 on our list. What numbers did this book do? Always interesting when a new character joins the fray, as it is with Dr. Multiverse. This book sold 16 copies, and it had a 7-day trend of plus 119%, with a high sale raw copy going for a very nice $86.67. Will Dr. Multiverse be here to stay? Time will tell. But 17 on our list, and we're going back to Marvel. And there's interest growing in the character that is White Fox. And Marvel is slowly weaving this character into multiple comic series. It's clear that both the publisher and fans greatly enjoy her inclusion as well. Now, her first appearance in this issue has already helped books like the U 1 in 25 hit over $100 raw. However, it's the standard cover that I'm going to bring to your attention. So number 17 on our list is Contest of Champions, issue number 1. Like I said, from 2015. Here is your cover, guys. It's a book that's definitely on my radar. This is a kind of back issue I can deal with. 6 years old. There we go. White Fox, I know, has a big fan base. What numbers did Contest do? Well, it sold 15 copies with a 7-day trend at plus 136% and a nice $30 for a high on the raw sales. 16 on our list. And there's a book, I was at the Bath Comic Con a few months ago and I wanted to buy this, but they were priced out at £20, and that's a bit rich for me. Well, this is an Image Comics book, and it comes from this year. Now, back in late August, early September, Scott Snyder commented on Twitter, so huge news. Tony S. Daniel and I have just finalised our Noctera TV deal. We couldn't be happier with our partners and excited for what's to come. Now, the official announcement with all the details will follow in the coming weeks. Thanks so much again. But this slowly started moving copies back then until other sources finally found it and shared it, pushing all the cheapish copies off eBay and online sources. I, in fact, ordered a couple from another online site for around about £6 and they fell through. But my good friend Lyric Magic Moments got one, so congrats to him. This week, news was confirmed about this show by Deadline that DMZ creator Robert Patino will write, executive produce and serve as showrunner on the project, which is in the early stages of development with James Wan's production company Atomic Monster. Of course, James Wan's latest effort, I suppose, at the cinema was Malignant. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I've got the comic though. Now, it's noted in this article that Patino just secured an overall production deal with Netflix. That's going to be where Noctera ends up landing by the seams of it. So, number 16 on our list, like I said, is Noctera issue number 1. And we're going with the standard cover. There are multiple covers of this book, guys. I do like how the reds pop on this one. And like I say, anything that gets optioned, I like to hunt down. And I'll find one, but I'm not paying 20 quid. Well, this time round, the book sold 17 copies. It had a 7-day trend of plus 122% with a high sale CGC 9.8, going for a respectable $120. 15 on our list, and what's left to say about this book from 1992, Image's staple book. Probably the biggest seller since I've been doing these top 20s, 163 weeks now, is Spawn, issue number 1. Look at that gorgeous cover. First appearance of Spawn, of course, it was Albert Francis L. Simmons, Mel Boglia, Jason Wynn, Wanda Fitzgerald. They were all in that first Spawn movie that is in my collection, B-movie, but it's pretty decent if you like comic books. It's also the first appearance of Sam and Twitch, which is interesting. They've been greenlit for their own Netflix live action show. Time will tell there. There's a Pin Up a Pit in this issue, second title ever published by Image Comics, and like I said, gorgeous artwork from McFarlane, Todd McFarlane. This week, the book sold 20 copies. It had a 7-day trend of plus 116%. And I'd get ready for this, guys. I'm not bringing you a 9.8 this time. This time, a rare CGC 9.9 sold for a whopping $9,995.50. Hard book to get in high grade, I would imagine, with the black cover. Mine's pretty high grade though, and I paid just £1.31 for my copy, February 2018, from the legendary Carboot Tony. Of course, there is supposedly another Spawn movie in the works starring Jamie Foxx and Jeremy Renner. Time will tell. 14 on our list, and this book is packed with first appearances. But of course, Kate Bishop's first appearance is what's really driving this book at the moment. 14 on our list, and we're going with Young Avengers, issue number 1. There it is, guys. We all know the book by now. Massive book. I remember being at the Birmingham Con a few years ago, and I passed on the most beat up copy for £1, but I would love to have that £1 back because I would snag it now. And it's got so much going for it, so many first appearances, and it's just a matter of time, isn't it, before the Young Avengers join the ranks of the MCU. What numbers did this massive book do now? And I say massive because it's a modern book, and there aren't too many massive modern books, but this comes from 2005. This book sold 21 copies and it had a 7-day trend of plus 97% with a high sale CGC 9.8 going for a whopping $1,148. Now, like I say, I don't have the first printing, but I did find, I guess you could call it the second printing. And this is a Marvel Legends Young Avengers box set that this accompanied. And it included Asgardian, Hulkling, Iron Lad and Patriot action figures. You can tell the difference because it's got not for sale down there. And this one alone is going for probably around about 40 to 50 quid at the moment. So a nice little pickup there for £1.66 in a gaming shop in Bristol. And that was in the back end of 2018. Okay, 13 on our list. Look, we're talking Hawkeye up again. And another book from 2005. And of course, we have seen Hawkeye as Ronin once again. And fantastic suit, love the look. And of course, when it comes to Ronin, this is your book, New Avengers, issue 11, guys. The first appearance of the first Ronin, of course, in the comics was Maya Lopez, aka Echo, in the Hawkeye TV show. And just a fantastic issue. What numbers did this do? Well, it sold 27 copies with a 7-day trend of plus 100% and a high sale CGC 9.8 going for $225. Like I say, this issue features the first full appearance of Ronin with Echo in disguise. I paid just £1 for this. I've had several of these, guys, don't overpay, but I managed to get mine signed, as you can see there, by the cover artist and penciler David Finch, who is of course my avatar on my YouTube channel, and that was in March of 2018. I got that signed free as well. Good guy, David Finch. Okay, number 12 on our list, and this comes from 1992 and a little known company, Millennium Comico. Now, the Hollywood Reporter recently noted that AMC has handed out a series order for Anne Rice's Lives of the Mayfair Witches, which joins Interview with the Vampire at AMC. I enjoyed the Interview with the Vampire movie, I've got to be honest. I'm a big vampire film fan. The formal green light comes 3 months after AMC announced it was developing Mayfair as the next show in the Royce's universe. The first book in the Mayfair Witches series is The Witching Hour. And here we go, guys. Number 12 on our list is Anne Rice's The Witching Hour, issue 1, like I said, from 1992. That's a creepy looking cover. Interested to see if this just make it to screen, but it's a book that, again, that I will be on the lookout for. What numbers did this one do? Well, it sold 28 copies, giving it a 7-day trend of plus 185% with a high sale raw copy going for $33. 11 on our list, and we're keeping with that independent optioned trend, and this one comes from 2020 as reported by Deadline and hinted by us a few weeks ago. I think I may have made a hot comic book alert about it at one point. Concussion filmmaker Peter Landsman will adapt and direct Scout Comics comic series The Recount into a feature film for Don Hamfield's Motor Content and Jonathan Cadin's Cadin Creative. Now, Nick Jones Jr. will co-write with Landsman this book. Like I said, from Scout Comics, and I like Scout Comics. They've got a good track record of late. It comes from 2020, and it is the first printing, cover A, of The Recount. There we go, guys. Another book that is added to my radar. Go careful. There were third printings of this book, I believe. This book sold 14 copies with a 7-day trend of plus 183%, and a high sale raw copy went for $60, but now they're averaging out at around about $39, which is still very respectable. I'm on the lookout for sure. Okay, we're into the big top 10. Not the greatest start for me, as usual. Number 10 on our list from 2003. And of all the Hawkeye characters that are hot at the moment, it seems to be Echo that is significantly outtrending everybody else. And various keys from the character of Echo are all trending. Number 10 on our list is the Origin issue. And that is Daredevil Issue 51. Another book now on my radar. I don't pay too much when it comes to Origin stories, but these covers are absolutely fantastic, aren't they? David Mack. Yeah, good stuff indeed. Several keys in this run now as well, which is nice. I'm always looking at the Marvel Knights Daredevil run. Well, this book sold 24 copies. It had a 7-day trend of plus 145% with a high sale raw copy going for a very nice $60. Number 9 on our list, and continuing with Echo, this issue features the second appearance of Maya Lopez and her first cover appearance as Echo. A lot of people think this could be or should be the go-to book when it comes to Echo, but for me, it's always going to be issue 9. But I do have number 9 on our list from 2000 is Daredevil Issue number 10. I also like this book because it's the first appearance of Crazy Horse, who is Willie Lopez, Echo's father, seen briefly in a flashback back in this issue. Excuse me. But of course, he made a couple of, he was in just one episode, I believe, of Hawkeye, but a pretty important episode it was. This book sold 23 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 153% with a high sale CGC 9.8 going for $360. I paid £1.67 for my copy, again in that gaming shop in Bristol, early 2021. In fact, April of this year. So if you put yourself out there, guys, you'll find some good books. Sticking with Marvel, and this book comes from 1991, and as previously noted, insider Daniel Rickman recently reported that a project centered on Marvel's Sleepwalker is in development in some capacity at Marvel. It's still very unconfirmed. But the book, number 8 on our list, of course, is Sleepwalker, issue number 1. This is a hard book to find. I've been hunting high and low for a second copy. No joy at the moment. Well, this is the first appearance of Sleepwalker. It was Rick Sheridan. It's also the first appearance of his main villain, and that is 8-Ball, who is Jeff Hayes. So keep an eye out for this one. This book sold 31 copies, and it had a 7-day trend of plus 114% with a high sale CGC 9.8 going for $225. Don't overpay for this book though, because like I say, unconfirmed rumours at the moment. I paid £1.08 for mine in the local LCS here in Gloucester. Excuse me. Number 7 on our list, of course, where Spider-Man is the number 1 talk of the time when it comes to movies on Marvel at the moment. The biggest talk at the moment with the Disney Plus shows has to be Moon Knight. And the highly anticipated series is coming very soon. And this is the first issue to the ongoing series, a book I've passed on several occasions, probably as low as $5 because the condition was off a couple of years ago. Wish I picked it up now. 7 on our list from 1980 is Moon Knight, and that is issue number 1, guys. And like I say, Werewolf by Night issue 32 and 33 is out of the price range for a lot of people right now. Here's your book, guys. Moon Knight number 1 from 1980. And of course, what has interested me about this book, it is the first appearance of the villain Bushman, who is rumoured for that Moon Knight show. So that's piqued my interest. Well, this book sold 26 copies with a 7-day trend of plus 148% with a high sale CGC 9.6 going for a whopping $300. 6 on our list, and we're sticking with Hawkeye. I do really enjoy the character of Kate Bishop. Loving the conversation she had with the second Black Widow. I think these two female characters are really going to hit it off and lead the team going forward of the Young Avengers, perhaps. The first solo Kate Bishop series has been a core title that collectors have been steadily selling for months. 6 on our list from 2016, Hawkeye, issue number 1. Also boasts the first appearance of Ramon Watts, who later gains powers in West Coast Avengers issue 9 and becomes the character Aloy, if I'm not mistaken. This book sold... this week had a high sale of plus 258% for 9.8. On average now, the Raws are selling for $28. I paid £2 for my copy, and that was in the middle of 2019 Birmingham Con. Okay, moving on. Number 5 on our list, and we are sticking with Daredevil. Now, CGC, this is interesting, recently updated its case labels for the book to indicate that Daredevil issue 11 is the first appearance of Echo, aka Maya Lopez. Now, this has had a significant impact on this issue. Number 5 on our list is Daredevil issue 11. Again, another great cover from David Mack, and this comes from 2000. It's the third appearance of Echo, I guess you could say. But that is what CGC puts down on the case as the first appearance of Echo. So it's on my radar now. I wouldn't overpay for it, though. This book sold 28 copies with a 7-day trend of plus 161% and a high sale. CGC 9.8 went for a very nice $365. Okay, number 4 on our list, and sticking with the character of Sleepwalker. And this issue comes from 2004. Again, I can't imagine too many of us will have this one. This issue features the first appearance of Sophia Strange. Now, as noted by fandom, the writer Jason Henderson has confirmed that Sophia was supposed to be the secret daughter of Doctor Strange and Clea, born without Strange's knowledge and hidden from Dormammu on Earth. However, this part of the story was never published, and Sophia only had this one appearance. It's going to be a good book to go after, guys. Now, there are 2 bits of speculation around Sophia. One, as a possible candidate to take the reins of Sorcerer Supreme from her deceased, unestablished father, Stephen Strange. The other speculation is about her possible MCU inclusion as Marvel builds the next generation, aka Young Avengers team. Number 4 on our list, Epic Anthology presents Sleepwalker, issue number 1, guys. Like I say, this book has to be pretty scarce, I would imagine. It's a book I'd never heard of. But like I say, Sleepwalker is pretty hot at the moment. There's your cover. Sorry about that, guys. But what numbers is it doing? One more time, I'll show you that cover. This book sold 12 copies with a 7-day trend of plus 425% and a high sale. Raw copy, Raw, went for a very nice $90. Number 3 on our list, another independent book, and this comes from a little known company called Ablaze, a recent book just come out. As a nod to George Orwell's Animal Farm, this series by writer Xavier Dorison and artist Felix Delip features a twist on the concept where all animals are not equal. Yeah, interesting. It was originally released in France back in 2009 and 2010 as a 2-part graphic novel with some amazing covers, by the way. Now, this synopsis describes the series as nestled in the heart of a farm forgotten by men. The animal castle is ruled with an iron hoof by President Silvio. The bull and its dog militia savour their power, while the other animals are exhausted by work until the arrival of the mysterious Aslard, a travelling rat who will teach them the secrets of civil disobedience. Now, fans immediately took to this very hard to find series and turned to online sources to find a copy. What is your book? It is Animal Castle, issue number 1. And there are various covers to this one as well, guys, but this is the regular cover I am throwing your way. Pretty sweet looking cover there. Again, I can't imagine too many of us will have this one. What numbers did it do? Well, it sold 47 copies. That's impressive. With a 7-day trend plus 379% and a high sale, raw copy went for $50. The variants are also doing very well. Sets of A and B covers plus all variants can be found cheaper on one of these sites than on eBay. And that site, if I can just get to it, guys, because I know there are going to be fans of this series, and that comes from the Comic Mint. The Comic Mint. If you're across the pond, look up the Comic Mint for cheap Animal Castle books. Okay, 2 to go, guys. The first of them comes from 1992. We've had the recent Into the Spider-Verse trailer for number 2, and I liked the look of it. Spider-Man had some cool costumes, and if you are cooler, of course, the Miguel O'Hara's Spider-Man 2099. The futuristic chap was introduced in Amazing Spider-Man 365, and as part of Marvel Comics' well-intended early 1990s 2099 imprint. This character, voiced by Oscar Isaac, working double time voicing Miguel O'Hara as well as appearing as the live-action Moon Knight for Disney Plus, is getting a massive spotlight in the forthcoming sequel. And the trailer really pushed this book, and that is Spider-Man 2099, the first full appearance and origin of Spider-Man 2099. Of course, Miguel O'Hara, voiced by Oscar Isaac. This book, get ready for this, sold a whopping 183 copies, giving it a 7-day trend of plus 151%, with a high sale CGC 9.8 going for a whopping $250. This used to be a dollar bin book, guys, trust me. I paid £2.75 for my copy, and that was in the middle of 2017. It was a really cool post-credit scene, of course, in the first Into the Spider-Verse film with Miguel O'Hara. Okay, and number 1 on our list, you're not going to be surprised to find out, again from 1992. This issue features the first preview of the upcoming Spider-Man 2099 issue 1. And it gets the honour of being the first appearance of Miguel O'Hara and Spider-Man 2099. The book, of course you know it, is Amazing Spider-Man issue 365. Of course, he appears in an advertisement, but this is the book that collectors like. In just 2 days, this book sold CGC 9.8 for $475, guys, and it had a plus 156% on the sales. And a great book. Of course, it is the anniversary of Spider-Man's 30th year from 62 to 92, and there is a hologram that I can never make work, featuring Spider-Man. I paid £8.99 for my copy in December of 2018. Okay, guys, that is a wrap. Wow! All done in under half an hour. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, share, comment. It means the world to me. How many did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm not counting that Young Avengers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My best week in ages. 9 out of 20. Nearly there at 50%. Let me know in the comments how many you got, guys. Thanks, and bye for now.